Christina with Bubblegum Paper, and I am back with another video. So I hope you guys had a chance to see the video I posted earlier today. It's part of my 1 Kit 5 card series. So I posted card number 1 earlier. I will link to it here, and I'm now posting card number 2. I'm using products from Doodlebug Design, and the second card I decided to call Peace. And it's actually card number 2 and 2.5 because I decided to make 2 cards. They were super easy. You could actually make a ton of cards following this technique. Here's a close-up of those 2 cards, and let's get started. I am using for all of the cards in this series the Under the Sea Collection Essentials Kit from Doodlebug Design. And in my first video, I walked through all the elements of this kit, so I will link to that here. Feel free to go check that out and then come back to this video to watch me make the second card. To start, I'm taking some watercolor paper and I'm cutting it down to an A2 size, so 4¼ inches wide by 5½ inches tall. And now I'm just going to tape that down to my craft mat using some washi tape because I'm going to do some watercoloring. And the reason why I'm taping it down is because sometimes the paper warps as it gets wet, and by holding it in place it won't curl up too much and like the water won't drip everywhere. I'm using Kuretake Gansai Tambi watercolors for this card, and the color numbers I'm using are 33, 35, 50, 63, and 139. And right now I'm just creating my watercolor palette. I'm just using standard stamping acrylic blocks. I'm taking a little bit of pigment and adding a ton of water to make it a little lighter. For the green or the aqua, I'm using a combination of the 50 and 63. It's like a green and a blue to make kind of an aqua-y color. And then the purple is actually very, very strong. So I took a tiny little bit and then it ended up being more than enough. And before I went in with the color, I did use a clear, the clear watercolor brush, and I just kind of squeezed water all over the center area. And I'm actually using the same brush on all of the colors. So this brush is from Ranger, and it's great because between applications of color, I just go squeeze some of the color out and wipe it with my paper towel, and then I can go straight into the next color. So it's a great brush to have. It's good for travel too if you do watercoloring on the go. And while this card was drying, I decided to go off to the side and create a second card using the same technique. So this one dried a little bit. I'm adding a little bit more color of pink and yellow. And then here off to the side, I'm going to show you the second card I made, which was more of a landscape wider card. That ends up being the Dolphin card. So while I set the watercolor aside to dry, I'm taking the pattern paper and I'm cutting this flower paper down to 5½ by 4¼ inches wide. And then I'm taking the purple paper, making it a ½ inch smaller, so it'll be 5 by 3¾ And then the watercolor, once it's dry, I'm trimming those down to just ever so slightly smaller than the purple paper. I think it's about 1/8 inch smaller on either side. Now I have both pieces of watercolor paper all dry, and I'm taking this powder tool to remove any static, and I'm going to heat emboss some sentiments. So these little mini messages are so cute. They come from Mama Elephant, and one says live, love, and laugh, and the other one says thanks so much. So I am just sprinkling some embossing powder on top of each of those after stamping the sentiments with Versamark ink. And then I will go ahead and heat set that with my heat tool. And you can see as I'm lifting this paper up, the watercolor paper is still slightly warped, so it's not perfectly flat. But you can do a couple things. You can either put this between a book and like leave it there overnight so it flattens out, or you can just use tape, like a lot of tape, to hold it down. For my mermaid sticker, kind of like what I did with the crab in the last card, for the mermaid, I am going to use the powder tool to remove the static, and then I'm using, so you can tell here, I'm using a ton of adhesive. I actually think I need to go replace the adhesive on my tape runner. And I'm gluing that down, and eventually it does flatten itself out over time. But for the mermaid, I'm using foam adhesive, and I'm going to prop her up so she sticks out of the card a little bit. And now I'm using some Castella, and I'm just going to make her headband shine and just add some glitter everywhere there. Next, I'm going to do the same thing with the dolphin cards. So I'm putting all of the pattern paper in place first. I'm adding tons of adhesive on the white layer so that this one's not as warped, but I'm pushing it down pretty hard. And then I'm using foam adhesive on the back of the dolphin as well so the dolphin sticks up. And these are so easy. So like I said at the beginning, you could make an entire series of cards. You could probably get at least 4 cards, if not more, out of the supplies inside this kit. Using the exact same paper. If you used every sheet of paper, you could do an entire collection of cards. Now I'm just taking some standard A2 card bases. One is a top folding one and one's a side top folding one, like one's portrait and one's landscape. And I'm just gluing the mermaid and the dolphin top pieces to the cards. So that's pretty much it. Here are close-ups of the 2 cards side by side and close-ups individually so you can see all the watercolor detail and the super, super cute stickers. I just love these stickers. So once again, thank you all so much for watching. I have 2 more videos to share with you. The first video is the first of this card series, the card number 1 with the little crab and he says hugs, and the second video is a Doodlebug Design washi tape birthday card I made. You can always follow me on social media at Bubblegum Paper or visit my blog at bubblegumpaper.com. Thanks again for watching and see you tomorrow with 2 more cards. Bye!